Let's give this a test run. 1024 model. What I'm going to do is I'm going to this is slow. This is 8 gigabytes of RAM. So sorry, mister, but you will lose part of yourself. Okay, go like that. So you only got the head. Right. Give it a good name. So I'm not gonna, do a lot here. I just want to test this really. So this is a BlyTools. It's a texture baker for a modeler. So I just want to give it a very rough test run. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to, you would, of course, well, LightWave is not really fantastic like that, but do have the topology tool from Third Powers. It's nothing to brag about at all, but it does kind of work. So we could use that, or you could use the one from TrueArt. So I covered those as well, those tools, in another YouTube video. So just search for that, I guess, topo or topology on my channel. Anyway, I'm not going to do that now. So usually you would want to do this in another program, but it would be cool, at times at least, to do this in LightWave Modeler. This is LightWave 11.6 and should run in 2015 and 2018 as well. It will not work with nodes. So if you have some kind of nodes going on here, I don't think it will fly. So just be aware of that. It's more of a simple approach, but then again, you wouldn't normally bake using, well, I guess you could bake using nodes, but it wouldn't normally be a point. So anyway, just have that in mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to retopologize this. I'm just going to do something damn simple. So I don't know. Let's try this one. 0.5 will make half of the polygons. So let's say 0.2. That will be 20% of the polygons currently. So let's just give that a run. That's actually QEM loss 2. A bit unsure about that. Why? Let's see. Did it really not give that? Did it not keep the UVs? No UVs? You're kidding me? Looks like that completely destroyed the UVs. That's not cool. Okay, not good. So that was reduce polygons plus, which is indeed QEM 2. So I'm going to run QEM 3. So hopefully that will, well, I don't know, keep it. So I'm just going to do this for now. I'm not going to deal with this one. Just see. I'm just going to test run it, see if it works. Okay, cool. All right, so now you know. You got to use QEM 3 and not the built-in reduce polygons Quamless 2. Okay, seems like it just got rid of the original, so I'll just cut this out and undo, and I'll paste that in the background. All right, so we got the low-res object here, and we got the high-res. I'll put that in the background. I'm going to give this UV map, let's see, that should be a clone, hopefully. Is it using the same? Okay, so it's using the same UV, so to speak, but it just deleted in betweens, so that's how that works. So it's not a good way of remapping the UV, but you know, let's not care about that, I guess. Or should I just UV map it like in a funky way? You know what? I think I'm just going to do that. I'm going to do a very crude UV mapping, I guess. Yeah, let's do that. So crude UV, because that's what it's going to be. This is not going to be a nice UV map, but it will be a UV map. Okay, so there it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy here with that UV map and bake it onto this one with that UV map. Doesn't really matter, I think. I don't really need to add a UV or anything like that to this clone surface. But okay, so let's take this one in the background, which does have the color info. We're going to bake that onto this stuff. And run the texture baker. I'm not going to bake. You know what, I could take the normal map, but I'm just going to take these two guys in this case, and these guys should usually be the same. There's really no need for it to not to be. Choose whatever format. Okay, it keeps the directory I'm in, which is very nice. So yeah, this is, do you want to bake it to this one, this UV map? New, because that's the one you already have. We'll make it to the new one, the crude UV. And bird pixels, resolution, if you go too high, if you go like 8K, then you need quite a lot of RAM. You need like or I mean not a lot, 16 gigs of RAM. I only got 8 gigs, which is nothing at all. I need to buy 32. Anyway, but still this runs pretty nicely. So is BlyTools worth it? I think it might be. Gonna give it more test runs, but it looks promising. And it's just one of those hidden plugins that you never come across. This one, I think this one was set to 1 thread. So I know this machine has 8 threads, so we're just going to go like that. Here you can enter the license key, by the way. It's $40. So running the non-commercial one here. So yeah, this is guesswork. I mean, you really should. Okay, so I can't rotate while this is open. You really should measure the distance between the low res and the high res to get the correct distance there. But I'm just going to guess 20 millimeters. And I think that's it. We're okay. And then it bakes. And it's damn freaking fast. So let's see. Yeah, here it is. So I don't know why it made this one. But anyways, can't recall making that one, but I guess I did. But yeah, so here it is, the new baked one. And you know what? It's pretty good. And that's our normal map. So I'm just going to try to add it. Of course, you can just go like that, just drag it in here, and we'll take the clone, take the texture, and say UV, what UV, the crude UV, and the one we just baked, which is the crude UV bake, and there it is. I think we'll just leave it at that. So there we have it baked. Let's see. Yeah, make sure this is set to 4K. That looks extremely low res. This one, I need to check that. Let's see. Viewport. Yeah, this one as well. Don't let that be super low. Set it to 4K. You can also see that it makes a bleed line, which is something that is important, something that you need. Not going to get too much into why you need it, but if it's just exactly accurate, then you know that bleed line is not going to be. Then you would have if it was exactly, then you would get these pixels right here, and then you would have like a black border going around. Okay, I can't select edges here, but then you would have a, let's see, you would have a we would have a black border going around this edge. Wouldn't look good. Okay, I talked too much. That's using BlyTools to create a normal map and to create or to bake texture from one high poly to one low poly. So it looks like the millimeter offset, you recall that I typed 20 millimeters, so that was a bit off. So you can see this is what happens when that is off. It will not do a perfect job really. So that should either be perhaps 10 millimeters instead, or 40. I'm not going to get into that right now, but that would fix some of this stuff. And of course, you can always retouch it in Photoshop later on. So that would be, yeah, you can see this is not that great. Again, crude. So this is, yeah, this is quite way off, honestly. It's quite off from what I wanted it to be. So maybe I should, I should have made another video on this, but I ain't got time. So just copying the color here. Okay, so let's pretend that this is the work of Da Vinci. Save it. There's a plugin where you can just hit a shortcut and it will reload the image. Or is that in layout? I don't know. Anyway, just take this crude one, crude UV, and reload. Reload. You know what? Wrong side. But yeah. So that's what you can do. That's the alternative. So it's strange that there's a big difference in the lighting here. This is much brighter compared to this. I don't know. Okay. Didn't mean to do this, but guess I did. Something that I often use, this video is too long, something that I often use have no idea how this is. Okay, this seems wrong. Something that I often use as well is the smudge tool, like the finger paint tool, I guess. So just running that filter over again, using the finger paint smudge shade tool. That's also quite often of good use. Works like that. This is not the correct way to do it, but I'm just showing you that, you know, you could do this, because then you could have, like, I don't know, you could tweak it. And I could go like, hey, you know what, this is going to be some funky stuff. Save it. You can always undo that, of course, later on. So that's a good thing of having it open in Photoshop. I can just undo this. So yeah, reload, and there it is. Wow, that was bad. This explains to you how this UV is done, though, or made. So let's see, if I zoom in on that area, let's zoom in on those. Yeah, you can see. So that has to do with atlas mapping the UV. You should never ever atlas map this. This was just for a test, but just to tell you that, you know, this is not the way to go about it. And this is the effect you could get, unless you know, want that artifact. Who knows, maybe it could be a cool glitch. But if this was perfectly UV'd, then this would look nice. Okay. And of course, I can go back here and I can just undo that and save and go back here and reload. So now you can't really tell except for this stuff here. Okay. So again, based on crude UVs really, and a bad millimeter offset, presumably. So okay, what else? No, yeah, I think I covered most of it. You could upres this, I guess, using Metaform, but it's not gonna help your UV map. But just to show you that you can smooth it out doing that. The geometry will look like that. So again, this was just a demonstration of going from high-res object to a low-res. Let's just undo that last step. A high-res object to a low-res object baking using BlyTools Texture Baker. Again, this was a very crude test, so, but hopefully it gives you an insight. You know what? Let's just apply this one. just to let you know that it's there. So this is what the normal map would look like. And as you can see, this is wrong because of the wrong offset for the millimeters. And also the wrong UV map, a crude Atlas UV map. But you can see that it actually did do nice things to, you can see this pattern here. So it's actually calculating the difference between the highest mesh and the lowest mesh. So once you apply this, this should look, this normal map, this should look smooth. Okay. I'm not an expert on that, but I think that's pretty much it.